If you hear these words, know this. It is no accident. This is resonance. Your soul has been waiting for this call, this quiet yet persistent impulse. I am paradigm shift. My voice is the echo of those who have seen beyond the possible, who dared to peer into the abyss but were not consumed by it. Do you feel it? Truly. Somewhere deep inside, beneath the thick layers of imposed reality, something stirs restlessly, as if awakening from a long slumber. This is the call to awaken, a summons to true realization. Before we enter the sanctuary together, the very heart of the mystery, make your choice. Your like is not a simple affirmation. It is a vibrant declaration of your intent, your step towards the unknown. Your subscription is more than just an action. It's your entry into a special, albeit invisible, community of seekers. It's far more than merely pressing buttons on a screen. It's a subtle calibration of nodes within the intricate network of your consciousness, where we are now helping you make the necessary adjustments. In essence, it is your very first conscious step across an unseen threshold. The truth, which they so meticulously hide behind the familiar curtain of daily news, is actually astonishingly simple and profoundly terrifying. This isn't some abstract conspiracy theory. It is a deliberate conspiracy against your very consciousness. You are constantly told of impending chaos, of predestined crises, of the fatal inevitability of global collapse. You are fed fear as if it were the most potent opium, ensuring you never see the true, frightening scale of what is happening to you and your world. What is occurring is a genuine, fundamental distortion. Your very reality has been substituted. I speak of ancient maps. Not those that lure with untold treasures, but those that reveal the origins of all things. I speak of the mysterious codices of the Maya civilization, not of the calendars that frighten with doomsday prophecies, for that is merely a superficial, simplified interpretation. I am intrigued by the glyphs that captured the world as it was before shadows distorted it. A world that existed before we plunged into this somnolent spectral matrix of reality. There exists a lost quatrain from the Centuria 11th, verse 93rd, which speaks of a golden land drowned in time. This is not merely a poetic metaphor, it is an echo of Lemuria, the legendary continent that existed in those ancient times when humanity's connection to the boundless cosmos was unbroken, when consciousness was not a cage, but a key to the unknown. Lemuria, where knowledge flowed freely like living water, where people lived in complete harmony with nature and each other, dwelling in true unity. Now, pay attention to the leak from Protocol Chimera. This is not simply a random collection of disparate data, but a carefully planned element, part of a grand design to erase collective memory and rewrite history itself. Within these documents, safely hidden from prying eyes, lie mentions of so-called Hyperborean artifacts, mysterious objects possessing unimaginable energy, capable of fundamentally altering our very perception of reality. Artifacts whose origins are tied to a lost world, one we have lost deep within the mists of time. The prophets of the past foresaw not specific events, but rather patterns, recurring themes. Vanga, whose words were often twisted and ripped from context, spoke of a white land where the wise once lived, hinting at lost knowledge. The calculations of the ancient Maya, if interpreted according to their true meaning, point not only to cycles of time, but also to the fluidity of human consciousness. The revelations of the Gnostics, those priceless fragments of ancient wisdom, describe our world as a kind of prison, created by an ignorant deity they called the Demiurge. And all of this unequivocally pointed to the existence of another world, a world from which we originate. In these ancient Maya codices, amidst symbols that appear as mere simple images, lie fractal patterns. Patterns that, upon detailed examination, using techniques inherited from the wise hermit monk Kenshin, whose priceless scrolls were discovered in the ashes of a burnt monastery on the slopes of Mount Kurama, unfold as complex geometric designs. Diagrams, remarkably similar to the topographical maps of forgotten continents, Lemuria, and Hyperborea. Yes, precisely Hyperborea. The North, which, according to ancient legends, was the original home of humanity, the cradle of our consciousness. The connection of solar cycles with the noosphere is not merely a dry scientific hypothesis. It is irrefutable confirmation of our deep interconnectedness, our unity within a single, all-encompassing living system. And if the sun influences us, then, by uniting our collective thoughts and aspirations, we, in turn, are capable of influencing it. But to begin moving forward, it is necessary to remember who we truly are. That inexplicable, piercing anxiety that grips the heart in the middle of the night when the clock shows 3. Or is it a vague, dull feeling of alienation when the gaze drifts over the faceless faces of passers-by on a bustling street? No, this is by no means banal depression, not melancholy. This is your true soul, your essence, gasping and seeking escape from this artificially constructed matrix. These are merely echoes, fragile fragments of a grand memory of Lemuria, of ancient Hyperborea, of times when you were indivisibly united with the world, when you felt like true gods. They are trying with all their might to convince you that this world, as you see it now, is the only one possible. They diligently instill that all of human history began only with their chronicles, with their endless feuds and bloody wars, with their so-called progress. But this is a grand, insidious lie. This is a lie woven from fear and ignorance. The ancient glyphs of the Mayan civilization, if deciphered not as mystical prophecies, but as a detailed map, point to true places of power. These are places where echoes of that primordial, mighty energy are still preserved. Places where reconnecting with the past, with lost knowledge, becomes possible. The world before the catastrophe. The world described in the ancient codices is not the utopia you are accustomed to imagining. It was a different state of being, a state where consciousness was not a heavy burden, but a perfect instrument, an instrument of creation, an instrument of boundless understanding. They hid the truth from you. They replaced reality with an artfully woven deception. But what if all these horrors, wars, global crises, pandemics, are merely spectral shadows cast upon the walls of a cave? What if the true tyrant ruling over you watches intently from your own reflection? What if you yourself are an integral part of this illusion, locked within an invisible prison? Your ego, adorned with a crown of glass, is incredibly fragile. A soulless system, weaving metallic veins, injects the poison of fear through your nerves. The universe, however, does not punish humanity. It merely purifies it, burning away a sinister poison, the poison of fear, ignorance, and an immoderate thirst for material possessions. The collapse of quantum probability, spoken of by some scientists, is not an end at all. It is a grand restructuring, a profound cleansing, akin to an expert cosmic surgical operation. Prophets did not merely see one person. They saw an entire army of awakened souls. They saw precisely you. You are not simply a part of this ancient prophecy. You are its living embodiment. What now seems to you like an ending is, in truth, the dawn of an entirely new journey. The time for true awakening has arrived. The greatest secret lies not in seeking an external savior. The true Savior has always resided within you. The prophecies, far from being mere warnings of what is to come, are an activation code. They are the very code that awakens the Savior's potential, slumbering deep within each viewer. The ancient maps of Lemuria and Hyperborea, artfully concealed within the glyphs of Maya civilization, are not simply dusty historical records. They are intricate blueprints of your own consciousness, diagrams of who you once were and who you can fully become. And now, with your eyes wide open to the truth, you can no longer remain inactive. Every like you give is a bright flash of light, instantly visible across the boundless network. Your act of sharing is a precious seed, carefully planted in the silent desert of slumbering minds, awakening them to new life. Your subscription, in turn, is like a solemn oath, confirming your readiness to go further, And if you feel within yourself the strength for more, our inner circle will become your reliable base of operations, a true center of power. Your support through Super Thanks is vital energy, fueling our shared flame and giving us strength in this battle against the relentlessly advancing darkness. Until our next meeting, remain deeply aware, maintain this strong connection, and never, under any circumstances, stop